everybody, it's Sue and Sal, and it's the end of June. We are still in the middle of a very hot, dry summer. We've gotten a few rains, but really, at least around Amory, they certainly haven't been enough. So you'll definitely want to be paying attention to making sure that you're getting enough moisture in your garden and keeping things watered. So we're just going to go in and take a look around. So last week we were talking about some of our things that are going to seed. So I just thought we'd take a look at the spinach again. Here it actually is starting to put on some seed, and we are just going to let this stay here until it dries and just kind of watch its progress. And then the other thing right here I want to point out is that our peas, we actually ended up with a couple different kinds of peas here. We have snow peas that are starting to get a little overripe, and we've got snap peas, and you can see that they're different just by the way that they are developing here. So what this means is that this seed was not true to type. Peas are all different varieties, but they're the same species, so that means that they can cross-pollinate. So what happened was last year this seed was cross-pollinated, and we have two different varieties here. We have snow peas and snap peas. So we're going to check in on our carrot here. Our carrot is really flowering nicely. This is a flower that's really attractive to pollinators. And if it looks familiar to you, it's because this is the same species as Queen Anne's lace, which commonly grows along roadsides. So because it is the same species, carrot and Queen Anne's lace will actually cross-pollinate. So if you're trying to save seed on carrot and it cross-pollinates with the Queen Anne's lace, then you'll end up with roots that aren't sweet and orange like a regular carrot. They could end up being white and not sweet like a Queen Anne's lace. And then I just wanted to take a look at some of our herbs. As far as going to seed, the basil here is starting to get small little leaves in the center. That means that pretty soon it's going to try to send up a seed stalk. Now, if we want to keep harvesting the leaves, we don't want it to start putting energy towards seed. So when we start harvesting, we're going to take this middle part out so that we're discouraging the production of seed and we're encouraging the production of leaves. And that way we can keep harvesting for a longer period of time.
So we had mentioned last time that we had quite a bit of open bed space in our garden after we planted our tray. So we've just been filling that in with different varieties of like root crops and just faster growing crops. So we've got our beets are germinating here, and then we've got some zucchini that we sowed about 2 weeks ago, and some okra, and just trying to fill in with a lot of different kind of vegetable varieties. And you can check out our quick tip video on succession planting if you're looking to plant something halfway through your year. We've also got some bush beans that we planted here, and everybody should have gotten one packet with their vegetable tray. So they're just starting to come up and grow and look really nice. So we're going to take a look at a different kind of bean. We've got pole beans also that we planted. So these beans may look the same, but pretty soon we're going to see they're going to start sending out tendrils because they're going to want to vine. So they do need a structure to grow on, which also helps with saving a little bit of space to kind of grow vertically. So I constructed this really high-tech bean trellis out of some sticks I found and then some jute twine. So pretty easy to just sink these in the ground, tie some twine around them so the beans have something to grow up, and then pretty soon this is going to start getting taken over by beans. And another important thing is if you're using twine or any sort of string or material to tie up plants in the garden, it can be a really good idea to use a natural fiber versus a synthetic fiber, because then if it breaks, you can just let it decompose or put it in your compost bin versus having to pick up pieces of plastic in your garden. And one final piece of infrastructure we've got going on in our garden is the tomato cages. So last year we did a really long segment where we talked about different options for trellising your gardens, so we can link to that at the end of this video. But we concluded last year that the tomato cages worked really well for us in just our small, few tomato plants. So we've set them up now, and I started pruning the tomatoes, which you can check out our videos last year if you want to learn more about pruning your tomatoes and other vegetable plants. And we will maybe put a stake in here later in the season if our tomato plant gets too heavy and starts pulling the cage over. But otherwise, this should help keep our plants compact for the remainder of the growing season. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We hope all your gardens are growing well and staying well watered. As always, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to be alerted when more videos come up. Please join us this summer for our monthly happy hours in the garden every second Thursday at 6:30. You can sign up for that on the Farm Table website. You can also donate money if you'd like to help support free programming like this at the Farm Table website. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks.